So, today we start project number 2. The title is My Personality in a Cube. Okay? You will have two things for this project. You will have a 3D composition, a 3D model, and a report. Okay? A written report. So, now, for the report, to be able to write about it, you're going to write about what? About your 3D composition. So this should be completed when you start the report. But there are a few things in the report that you need to complete first, so that you can also do the 3D composition. So let me go step by step and it will become more clear. So we will have, first of all, a worksheet with some of the details. I will put that on e-learning. And I will describe in detail what should be in the report. And in exactly what order, what I want. Exactly what you need to write, okay? Now, my personality in a cube. So, it's about you this time, okay? So you need to really try to understand what is your personality so that later you can design this aspect of the personality in an abstract way inside a cube. Now this cube will be of a wooden frame. So this will be a frame out of wood. You can buy these ready sticks, and you cut them according to the size you want and glue them together, and you will get a cube, wooden framed cube. This cube needs to be spray painted white. Okay, everybody must have this frame white. The thickness of this wooden frame, 1 by 1 centimeter. So it's 1 centimeter by 1 by 1. Okay, so the cross section of the frame. So everybody should have that. Make sure that from here to here 25, from here to here 25. So it's exactly 25, not to be high or low. Now, this is the wooden frame. Now, your personality that you need to design will be inside the cube. Okay? Inside. So what's inside, this will be different for every student. But everybody must have the same frame. It is like when I ask for a specific paper size, like A2, A1, A3. Everybody must use the same paper size, but the design inside different. Okay? This is the same thing. This is your frame. Like a paper, and inside you design. Now, there are specific materials that you're allowed to use, okay, for the design that is inside this cube. You can use wooden sticks, strings, transparent plastic sheets cut into specific shapes, cardboard. Now, here in this project, you are more free than in the other projects. In which way you are free? You can choose any element of design and combine it with any principle of design. Okay? Before I used to tell you, no, you must use the element of design line or shape or specific things. Now you can use any element of design. You can have color, you can combine lines with shapes, you can combine several things together. And use any of the principles of design also to build this composition. Because the elements of designs are what? The pieces of the composition. But how they come together, that determines what principles of design use. And don't forget that we also talked about the Gestalt principles of design. So you can combine the main principles of design that we discussed, plus include Gestalt principles in your composition. So what combination you make, that's totally up to you. But it must represent your personality. Now, to start such a design, you need to have an idea about your personality. So at least on a separate paper, before you start actually the design work, okay, of organizing the book, okay, the booklet, you can just write about your personality, okay, so that you have an idea, what am I designing, okay? So, Now, the report, which is going to be the written information about your personality, must be A4 size, and it must be written on Word program, not other program, not PowerPoint, not any other thing, on Word, okay? If you have images, you will take the photos and you will paste them into the file, okay? So, on Word program, it must be A4 size, and very important, the pages from here must have 3 centimeter empty space, from here 2 centimeter empty space, okay? So, look, for example, this sheet, from here I have empty space, and from here empty space. From here I need more empty space because here will be the binding, okay? Spiral binding. So you can go to any maktabi and they will click here, okay, make holes and put the spiral bind. But if your text is too close to the edge, when he makes the holes, it will go and it will be a disaster. So 3 centimeter at least, okay, from here. Remember this. Because this report, what you will print and you will submit to me. So it must be excellent in quality, in the printed version. Okay, now the report will have a cover page. On the cover page, you must have your personal photo. Okay, so you take a photo of you, of your face, okay, and you place it here. Now, where is it placed on the cover page? Here or up here? That's not a problem. Important to be here. So the way you design it, up to you. But the information that you need to put must be exact, okay? So, personal photo. You need to have this information inside here. Project title, the course name. Project title is what? My personality in a cube. The course, basics of design. The student name, your name, okay? Please, the font size of this, use 18 to 20, okay? 18 to 20 for this. Now, this is the cover, the main page. The first page, after the cover page, when I open, it must have a title called My Personality, okay? This title must be in font size 12. I don't want huge, only these here are big. These become smaller, okay? So this is font size 12. The text here, font size 10. What is the text here? Telling me about your personality in detail, okay? Just writing about who you are, who you believe you are, okay? Now here, you are allowed to use images. Images that show your personality. For example, you can have images of your hobbies, style. For example, if your room at home has a specific style, your clothes, things that you like, okay? So, things that show visually your personality. And here you talk about it. Important, everybody must have the titles that I say here, okay? And in the exact order. Now, page number 2, we have title, personality keywords. Again, font size 12, okay? Here the keywords are based on this. This is extended version, long explanation. This is the keywords from this. So if you read about your personality and think, oh, I'm mostly a calm person from what I talked here. So calmness, you can put as one of the keywords. If you're a very emotional person, okay, you can put a word that describes your emotion, okay? Anxious, happy, sad, so gloomy, moody, whatever, okay? So, your personality here, long description here with keywords. The keywords are similar to what I gave you in the first project. A list of words, okay, and you design according to them. Now you select these words from your personality. How many? Up to you. You can have 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Up to you. You must also include images here, preferably. These images, not preferably, you must, okay, include images here. So you have a keyword and an image, keyword, image. These images must show the emotion of the keyword. Be careful. Here the images show your hobbies, your style, these kind of things. Here, the image must show the keyword. So if the keyword is happy, you're a happy person, okay? You must find an image that shows this happiness in a general way. Calm person. You must find an image that shows calmness. It can be an image from nature, something that creates the feeling of calmness. So you search from the internet, or you take your own pictures, okay? So, pictures that show these keywords as an emotion. Why are we doing these things here? Because later these things have to fit with what you have here inside. Okay? So for example, if you talk about your personality in a certain way, here we have keywords that show you generally as a happy person, and then when I look at this design inside, it shows an angry person. Okay? So this is not fitting. There is something wrong. So everything what you do here must be seen in this design inside. Very important. Okay? So this is the second page. Page number 3. 3D representation of my personality. This is a title. And you will have an image of the final design. This is after you finish. After you finish the whole design, you take a beautiful image of one of the views that shows the best kind of view, and you put it big here. And I want 3 smaller images of other views. You choose what views. Okay? But I need to see the model from several views. 3 views here and 1 measurement. Okay? So, this is on page 3. On page 4, you need to tell me the design elements used, the principles of design used. Tell me, what design elements did you use to make this design inside this cube? What elements? Line, color, shapes, what? Okay? And what principles of design? There is enough noise outside, okay? Let's keep it quiet. So, the elements of design used and what principles of design. Now this can also, you can have a third title, Gestalt principles of design. So you can add this to this section also, okay? If you use such. Now, the fifth page and all the rest of the pages. You may have 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 pages, I don't know. Okay? But from the 5th page till the end, what? You need to have this title, Detailed Explanation and Analysis of the 3D Model. This one, okay? So, here it's the serious explanation, and where you need to be extremely careful and detailed, because a lot of the marks will go what you will discuss here. So here, you need to, first of all, use as many pages as you need, as I explained. Must be very detailed. Use close-up images where needed to explain details. So here you must give me, look at the elements of design, principles of design used, look at your personality traits, okay? And you must tell me exactly why. Why I used a certain, for example, if you say your element of design color, and then when I look at your model, it has red, it has white, it has green. So why did you use these colors? For example, you will tell me exactly in detail, and not only in general, like exactly why did you make this element, for example, white, and you made everything else red, for example, okay? So you need to go to the details of the details. Why you choose a specific element, why you choose a specific principle of design, and look at your whatever model you have in details, like how did you order these elements and why? How this ordering fits with your personality traits. Remember, it must fit, okay? So, these keywords, we must see them inside here. But here is the trick, because you're free to use anything, any elements, any principles. So, how you will use them and how you will combine to make this model, here we need the explanation in detail. Even if you put one element next to another, let's say you put a line next to a shape. Why did you make this decision? Okay? Because anything in a composition, when you move it around, even if you use the same elements, if you move a little bit something around, it might give another impression, another like result. If you change the color, the same thing. If you make something bigger or smaller, the same thing. So, if you change the size of something, why did you change it? Why did you make it bigger? Why small? Why did you place it in a certain location? Why did you put these elements around it, above it, below it? Okay? So, we need to have explanations about everything in detail. Okay? In this section, you need to go back to our lectures and the explanations of the lectures, in case you forgot some things. Okay? Because there is a lot of words, a lot of some details that will help you in case you forgot. You shouldn't forget them, but in case, okay? Because here you need to use the exact words. So if for example my design is asymmetrical, okay, you need to use the correct word. It's not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. Okay, why? How does this fit with my personality? Okay. Everything you must talk about. Even don't forget about things like, you see, you need to look in details to the details of your design. And then you need to look at it as a whole also. It's like two things you need to talk about. The details and the unity of the whole design. Okay? As a whole. So for example, if a certain design for example, have this kind of thing. So, if I have something like this, which is it's just to explain a point, okay? Now, here, this triangle, for example, if it stands in this way, it shows there is kind of a tension here. It's not stable feeling. We have here not a stability, okay? So if we have such a feeling, such an emotion here, does this fit with any of my personality traits or not, okay? Then look at the way it's organized. Like there is a clear line of vision that goes from here, go this way, and come out from here. So directional forces. You need to also be careful, because when you look at the entire model, sometimes you can see the model itself, the way it's combined, it's going in a certain direction. It guides our vision to a place. So this can be used by you for a specific reason, okay? It can guide me, for example, to go to an element where I need to see it. Like it can guide me to go this way, and then, whoops, I see here something very important, okay? Or big, or colored in a different way. So these directional forces you need to be also careful about and explain about them. Look at this, for example, and these lines, okay, the way they didn't stop here, they go out here. So it kind of guides my eyes in this direction, because there is repetition also. So it's kind of in a circular way. So you need to, what I mean is, you need to look at your design in a dynamic way a little bit. So not only to talk about the details, but also step back and just describe it as a whole also. Like what kind of movement do you see in the design? Movement is a principle of design, don't forget. Do we have that or not? It can be a very stable design without any movement. This is also okay if it fits with your personality. So if you're, for example, a boring person, consider yourself, or very routine-oriented, or if you're a crazy person, you know, like every day you like to change something, do crazy things. So the design, what's inside, must fit with this, must fit with your personality. So an organized, routine-oriented person will have a different, totally different design than a crazy person. Okay? So here this detailed description, be very careful about, and this is the most time consuming actually. However, before you start the design of this, okay, before you start, you need to have at least this done, the description of your personality and the keywords, so that you can start, okay, with the design. So, you can either write them down on a separate paper and later organize them, or actually start with the booklet design and then do the 3D model and later continue with the booklet design, okay? So it's up to you. Now, let us see some of the things here. Why is everyone talking? Siwar, stop. Try to focus for a moment, okay? Oh. Okay. Now this is just to understand what I mean with the wooden frame, okay? So, let me see if it's... Later you will see it more clear. So what's the wooden frame? This frame here, okay? Everybody must have the same, however, white, not brown, white. Huh? 25 centimeters. Okay. Here you can see other examples that don't fit with our project. Like for example, this one doesn't have a frame. You must have a frame, okay? But look, I included this why? Because it gives a nice example of how you can use transparent plastic sheets to create a specific effect. Because you are allowed to use transparent plastic sheets. But be very careful what transparency will give you as a feeling when you put it somewhere. Okay? So the materials that you will use will also affect the way we see your design, the way it feels, okay? Strings can be used and attached, okay, in certain ways. Cardboards, other wooden elements inside. So you're pretty free to do whatever you want inside. But you must have a cubistic wooden frame, white. Anything inside, any color, any element and principles of design you can use. Some of these are student works actually from another semester, like this one, this. Some of them are not. So, okay, so what you will do inside, it's up to you. But, again, I will stress one important thing. It must be abstract. So, look at this, for example, it's abstract. We don't see anything representational from our daily life. For example, if you try to cut me out of a paper a flower and put it inside, no. What are you trying to represent with the flower? Is it beauty? Is it peace? Is it what? This emotion, you need to find another way to express it without copying elements from our daily lives, objects from our daily lives. So it must stay abstract, like all of these designs. Yes? Yes, you have some of these on e-learning, but for the report, you don't have examples. So these other that look like reports, it's not what I want, okay? What I want from you is exactly in this order, with exactly this information to be made, the report. So you don't have any examples of that on e-learning. Only some of images of these cubes. And even some of them are not correct, because for this project I want all the cubic frames to be white. Okay? So if you have questions, please ask me.
So we can use any material we want?
Pretty much, yes. If you are not sure about something, you can ask me. But so, for example, if you want to have lines inside, you can either use paper, cardboard, you can fold, you can even use metallic wires, you can use something and paint it.
Yes.
Okay? So you're free, basically, in this respect, for this project.
And when is the submission date?